Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have some really whimsical inspirational cards to share with you, so let's jump right in. So I'm going to start by cutting down my cardstock as I always do, and now this piece of cardstock doesn't fit really well in my trimmer. It's actually a 9x12, so it's a little bit too big, but I just make it work anyways because the bigger trimmer doesn't fit as well in the screen. So this is kind of what I decided to do. And I'm cutting these down to be that 1/4 of an inch smaller than my A2 base. This is a watercolor piece of cardstock, by the way. And I opted to add a black mat later. I know I've been doing that a lot lately. I like think that I know what I want and then I create what I want and then I'm like, nah, I need a black mat. So I cut out some. This is, I think it's, I have to look at my notes to remember. Stamping mask paper, I think is what it's called. It's pretty much just masking paper that allows you to, stamp your image or whatever and then mask that image and stamp again if you wanted to, that kind of thing. And I've measured this out to be the size of my sentiment. Actually, it's slightly bigger than my sentiment, giving me that little bit of extra wiggle room when I go to stamp my sentiment so I can center it and kind of make it look like it's in a sign. At least that's what I was thinking when I did this. So this whole card is actually pretty flat, but I did attempt to make the sentiment look like it was popped up, even though it is not. And now you guys know that I am consistently telling you to use what's in your stash. And this is going to be one of those times where I wish I had, listened to my own advice sooner. I have brought in some paints, and sadly this yellow, and this is actually the only yellow I own. I thought that I could, revive it, use a little bit of it. It was actually fully sealed. But it has been in my stash for a while and I did not use it. And now it is in the garbage because I could not revive it. It is acrylic pink. You can see that was the Dilutions version. I don't own very many of the distress paints. Thankfully, they're all, pretty good. The purple was a little bit thick, but that's okay. I just watered it down a little bit and it worked perfectly fine. It was just a bit thicker than everybody, like all the other colors. But for the colors, I have Spun Sugar, Dried Marigold, Lucky Clover, Tumbled Glass, and Wilted Violet. And as you can see, I did add a little bit of Picket Fence to Lucky Clover and to Wilted Violet. I just wanted them to be a bit lighter, but I didn't own a lighter shade. Like I said, I don't own much of the paints. So I'm kind of having to invent my own colors a little bit here as I, work through what I've got on hand. And I did end up having to bring in Squeezed Lemonade as a re-inker for my yellow because I did not have one. So I'm kind of trying to create a rainbow-esque palette with what I have on hand, which worked sort of. I will say that I don't love the color palette I ended up with. I think the cards are really fun. I think that you could, do them in any color palette. But because I was really trying hard to use these these paints that I have on hand that I've never used, I just kind of made it work, and I would have changed the color palette up had I had different colors to work with, but I don't think that they're bad. It's not a color palette I generally would reach for. So you saw me kind of mix up all my colors. Here's where I decide no matter how much water I try to add to this yellow, it's not going to work. So I just cleaned that out. And this is just a ceramic palette I got off of Amazon. And then I'm going to fill it up with some Oxide re-inker in Squeezed Lemonade because that would be opaque like the paints because these are acrylic paints. And then we're just going to kind of do like a brush strokey-esque look. That's what I'm aiming for here. I'm going to kind of go in rainbow color. There's no rhyme or reason to this. You're trying for not perfection. And you could, again, most of what I do, you could do with paints, you could do with inks, you could do with sprays, you could whatever, right? You could bust out anything you want to bust out. You could do ink smushing, however you want to add the color. The whole idea is just to add some fun color to the panel. So in this instance, I think this would be a great craft or card to make with children as well, because you're pretty much just adding a little bit of paint across the fun part of that. So there is no rhyme or reason to what I am doing. I am trying to get a little bit of gapping. I suck at that because I want to go in and fill in all the areas. But the idea is to leave, some overlapping, some brush marks, some different stuff so that you get a bit of texture on this very flat painting. But I struggle because you can see I've even gone back into the other colors and tried to add more so that I could fill in those areas. Like here, I should have left these skippy bits because that would have been really interesting, but I didn't. I went over and painted them again. So don't do better than me because I couldn't leave the skippy bits, even though that's what kind of adds the fun to this texture, is adding those interesting paint smears and, skipping parts and blending and ink going on top of each other, that kind of stuff. So do better than me because I could not leave it. And I really wish I had, because it would have added more interest to this kind of painted background. But it's a very, very simple painted background. You could literally do this with any colors you have in hand, which is kind of the idea. And then you're just really going all the way around to create, a fun painted background. And I did, fill in a couple areas. I thought the purple was a little bit too large there. And I wish I had lightened the purple up just a little bit more. I should have added a little bit more white, because it ends up being fairly dark comparatively to the other colors that are quite a bit lighter. But I think that it turned out really pretty in the end. Like I said, I would have modified the palette a little bit had I had the other paints on hand, but I didn't, and this is what I came up with, and I think that they turned out pretty neat. I am going to remove the masking, it's not tape, the masking sticker, the mask, I don't know. I'm going to remove the mask, and then I'm going to just splatter on a little bit of my Perfect Pearls that's mixed up in my mini mister bottle, just because I like that extra shimmer and shine. It's not fully dry here, so the glimmer is going to be a little bit less obvious when you see them in the end. It's quite subtle because it does mix in with the paints a little bit, but I think that just adds a little bit of extra interest, and I really like it. So I also went in and I fully dried them so that I could put them in my Misti and start stamping the sentiment on top of them. And I will say, I am pretty proud at how I lined up the masks, because you saw me eyeball all of that. And then you're going to see here in a minute when I go and stamp my sentiment, I actually lined them up very close to one another, which is pretty good considering I eyeballed it. I am going to add some pen details and a few different things. You could skip that step if that's not really your jam. Like right here, they're not terrible. I will be honest with you guys, I did struggle with these cards, and I wish I had maybe walked away from them because the color palette is not the vibrant one I usually lean towards. So because of that, I did struggle a bit and wanted to just keep adding things to it. And if I had walked away, I think I would have, minimized how much I did that too. But it's okay. It works out fine in the end, I think. But it is one of those things just to be aware of. So I did stamp the sentiment from Tim Holtz. This is from the Noteworthy stamp set, and it's BU, The World Will Adjust. I think it's a very fitting sentiment. So I used that on these kind of more whimsical cards. And you can see here, like I'm eyeballing to make sure that the stamp actually fits in, because again, I eyeballed where that mask paper went, and I think that it actually, I lined that up really well across the three cards, considering I was pretty surprised. I was sure I was going to have to pull out the stamp and move it, but I did not. So I will toot my own horn on that because I was pretty proud. And I did stamp it twice just because this is a textured watercolor paper. I pretty much exclusively use cold press because I like the texture, but you could, use a hot press and then you just have a way smoother base. And this is where I come in with the pen detail. So this is a micron, I believe it's a 0.03. It's quite a thin nib. And I go around the sentiment within that kind of square. And I add, that just kind of gives it a little bit more dimension. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to add lines within the paint. You could have left the paint alone if you didn't want to do this. I just thought it would be fun to add a little bit of paint detailing, but it does take away a little bit from the painting. So it really, either way is good. I added the lines. You could skip adding the lines if you wanted to, and be aware that if your paint is not dry, you will, you have the potential to ruin your marker. So keep that in mind. So I did add those pen lines all over the paint. But again, totally up to you as to what you feel like you want to do. I don't dislike it. I think it's just kind of a fun way to add a little bit more interest and just texture. The yellow threw me off because it's not paint, so it didn't kind of go on like the paint did. But I still think that it turned out kind of neat. And then I'm going to bring in a Copic marker here in a minute. This is N4, which is a neutral gray. And I really wanted to make the sign, or make the sentiment look like it was in a sign that was standing all on its own. And I wish I had just put the gray on the bottom corner instead of the top, because here it ends up making it look like you've just outlined the sentiment. And that wasn't quite the intention. In my head, I was thinking like if you shaded the inside and then you shaded the outside on the opposite corner, that would give you more dimension, but it didn't work the way I wanted it to because I didn't have the right structure in place. Like if I had drawn out the corners of a sign, that would have worked. So I wish I had done what I did on the third one there, where I only put it on the bottom corner to kind of create that shadowing. But it's one of those things you learn as you go. You know, this was a completely different card design for me. So I did bring in my white gel paint just to clean up that line. I thought the line on the top was just a bit too thick, so I ended up cleaning it up a little bit to make it a bit thinner, and then I chose to just leave the third one with the gray marker just in the bottom corner. And then I'm going to go in and reinforce that here in a second too with my pen. I'm going to add some dash lines to it to give it a little more body after I add some splatters, because see, this again, I'm unsure how I like the background, so I'm like, well, splatters make everything better, so I'm just gonna add some white splatters across it. And I like how that looks. Like, it's not a bad addition, but this is where I could have stopped and just left it alone. But and then yeah, here I smacked my my paintbrush right against the front of that card. It was okay. I cleaned it up and it worked out really well, because of course the acrylic paint, once it's dry, it doesn't reactivate. So I just used a piece of paper towel to just clean it up off screen a little bit better, and then that's completely gone. Like, you can't even see it now at all. So it worked out really well. But here I brought in that same fine liner, and I'm just adding little dash lines to add some weight to that sign, to kind of give you that illusion again that it's a little bit heavier on that side, and that hopefully will enhance those shadows, giving you that like three-dimensional look. So here I'm holding them both up so you can kind of see how that worked out. And then I am going to bring in a black mat. You know what, you guys, if I'm a little bit unsure of a card design, I'm going to fall back on my tried and trues. And one of those is to add a mat, and especially a black mat. So that is what I did. It also ties the sentiment in as well, because the sentiment is black. So I went in and I adhered those onto those black mats, and then I am of course going to adhere them on to the white card base. And you'll have to tell me your thoughts on this card design. It is a little different for what I usually do. You guys know I tend towards really vibrant colors as a general rule, and these colors are a bit more muted, except for the yellow, of course, because it was a re-inker and not a paint. So it came in with slightly different properties than everything else. I don't think the colors are bad. It's just not what I would have normally chosen. So it gives me pause, because I tend to work in a specific color palette. So you guys will have to let me know your thoughts. Like, do you think the color palette works together regardless of the fact that they're not all vibrant colors, which is what I would normally lean towards? Or would you change the color palette? What would you work in if you had the choice? Because again, keep in mind, I only have a few of the paints, and I really want to use the stuff that I purchase. So I thought this would be kind of an interesting way to use them in a very abstract and whimsical way. There's no pressure. You know, you could use any colors here. You could use any sentiment here. You could just make it your own in so many ways. So hopefully it inspires you to bust out a medium that you have not used, like me, and so you can use it before you end up having to throw it away like I did with that yellow paint, which is a real bummer. But that's what happens when you purchase a medium that has liquid in it and you don't use it. So you live and you learn, of course, right? But I don't dislike them. I like them better now because it's been a couple of days since I made them. So now I can sit here and kind of just look at them and enjoy them for what they've, how they're different. And yeah, I think that they turned out kind of fun but different. And I think that's kind of interesting. Would you have left off the lines? That is another question. Would you have let the paint just be and not added the pen detail? Tell me what you would have done differently with these cards if you were the one to create them, because it's always really interesting to see how you guys would see them. So that is the card design I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I have the vlogs every second Saturday. Next one's coming up on the 22nd. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.